I've been in this space for, I guess, almost 9 years, and it's amazing that I'm moving out because it's such a dream to be here. But my goal is to make my art totally accessible and to do workshops, pay less rent, all those things. But to move my art career ahead, I need to make this easier. So I'm moving out.
When you're a parent, time and space are so limited, and as a creative person, it's essential to have some kind of space just for art making. And I decided to continue my process. I had to get rid of my city downtown studio and move it home.
Months now, and I haven't done painting since Abigail was probably, I don't know, since you were 4 months old. Part-time, I'm moving my studio home. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate making my art accessible and how to make the work that I'm thinking about and I'm dreaming about. So even though you may not be making artwork, there might be stuff brewing. And I call that, in a way, a creative pause from the physicality of making the work, but not a break in your mind, because there's a lot going on. Right? What I'm talking about is setting up a studio and converting your garage into, well, for me, it's a 4-season studio that's being framed. There's electrical work being done. I've chosen to have it spray foam insulated because that's the best way for me to get the best R value. And I'm trying to keep this under $5,000, which is really, really, really tricky. So you want to think about your budget and your time frame, how much time and how much money do you have to spend. So
and if you don't have family support, I can't imagine doing this. So hopefully you have lots of friends. So we spent 2 days out here hammering and putting up this shed.
Come on. Okay, so I'm still in the process of getting my garage ready to get it ready as a studio. So I'm in transition and I have stuff everywhere. It's chaotic, it's messy, but you kind of have to go with the flow and accept that it can be. Okay, time's up. Finish. Mom just wants to finish. Okay, my garage is almost empty. So what I'm doing now is I've taken everything to the dump and I'm going to paint this wall white. I borrowed a pressure washer from my neighbor, so I'm going to clean the floor. As you can see, it's really nasty. And then I'll get it framed and yay. Because I have Walter Lloyd here, who is a good friend and an amazing poet. My dream studio is underway, and this is all about making art accessible and practical and doing things that make, for me, making art possible. So I had a great day yesterday with Walter, who I introduced to you, who's a perfect example of someone who's very creative, who doesn't let, he has 3 children, who doesn't let all that life stuff get in the way. He's a poet, and it's funny because while I was here working, I looked over and on the table he has a beautiful little leather-bound book, and he keeps that close to him, and that's where he writes down his thoughts. On his lunch break, he might jot down words or things bubbling away, and he writes poetry even on the job site, which I find really inspiring. So even dads, all of us, it doesn't matter whether this is a series about women, that's the focus, but Walter's a perfect example of art is everywhere. Take it with you in any form that you can, whether it's writing down a note or taking a picture or just hanging on to an idea while you're at work. And it doesn't have to be fragmented. It doesn't have to be work and then art. You can somehow blend them just in little ways. Hi, Gary. You don't have to say anything. What is this thing called again?
Electrical panel.
I have a new electrical panel. Very exciting. I need one of these for this type of studio, especially because I have a kiln being installed. But it's also really important because because I'm teaching workshops, I'll be using a lot of power because I'll be hooking up a lot of hot plates for teaching encaustic painting, and that's something you want to think about when you're setting up your studio. First of all, do you need electrical work done? Do you need it updated? Do you need enough work done that you need to have an inspector come in and inspect it? Because maybe you want to worry about, well, is this something that's going to affect insurance? Do you want insurance to know about it? But for me, the big thing was having enough power. Have enough power for teaching my workshops. I've got a space heater, enough power for my kiln. So there's a lot of things to think about. And obviously one of the most important things is to get an electrician that you like and trust. And this is Gary. And word of mouth is really, really good. Get a recommendation from somebody that you know, because obviously they've had a good experience. So shop around, get estimates, and yeah, do your research with electrical. It's really important because you don't want to mess around with it. And it is something that you can do yourself if you have enough knowledge, but depending on how big the project is, you'll want to hire an electrician, and that's what I did. Sorry.
Whoa. This is how you get it done. No matter how tired you are, no matter how hard you're working, just keep pushing. Making art is like pushing a baby out. You have no choice but to get it out. So I'm just going to keep pushing. But I have this heater here. I have these heaters hung for the winter time. They're electric heaters, and I got to take them down or the door is going to hit it, which is a total pain in the ass. Almost there. I spray foamed all around the edge of the door, and it's a bitch to get open.